Hi guys, hope you all are doing well and enjoying the markets. So, what we'll do today is we'll analyze the Nifty IT index, right? From a long term and more, from an investing perspective, and we'll get a bit deeper into it, right? Right from the beginning and all the way till where we are today, and what are the possibilities from here on, right? So this is the Nifty IT index, and I have it. Let's start with really higher time frame, right? Look at that market in here, right? 97, 96 is when the IT industry boomed, or rather, came into existence. In solid returns, right? In 3 years, look at that 97, 98, and 99, multi-bagger, right? And then we had the dot-com crash in here in 2000, and then 2009 Lehman Brothers, and I think the market has been pretty consistently going up, and this is the COVID where we had the dip that got bought into, right? So from an yearly standpoint, the price is continuing to do higher high, right? Right from day one. Let me also add volumes and RSI to see if there's any divergence in this time frame, right? Okay, there's no volume for IT index, unlike how it has on Nifty. So there is a mild divergence in here, right? Pay attention. But the price has not given any indication on a yearly time frame, right? Remember that, and we've got 5 more months to go for 2025. If I switch it to 6 months, the price action is clearly bearish, sorry, bullish. Um, the divergence still continues, but the price has not given an indication as yet, right? So let's move into 3 months. Same story here. We did have the divergence. This was the first candle that gave that confirmation, right? You see here, it is doing lower high and lower lows. So on a 3 month time frame, right? As long as Nifty does not break 44,850, I will be extremely cautious as an investor for long term as of now, because what could happen is two things can happen. One, the IT index could consolidate for a very very long time with hardly any returns, and or it can continue also to drop. So this for me is not a very good sign, because this candle in here in the month of January, the price has turned bearish on a quarterly time frame, right? Pay attention. So if you're a long term, if I were a long term investor, I would really be careful, right? Because my returns may not be as favorable with respect to time, right? Because all I want is my maximum returns in a shorter span of time, right? So I'm going to be cautious. Now to monthly, it's a similar story, right? This candle is what turned bearish, and then here we had a hammer. Now on a monthly, the price has turned bullish, right? So that's a very interesting turnaround. So on 6 months, 3 months, price is not bullish as yet, but on the monthly it has turned. So as an investor, I would still be looking at this, because all the different time frame needs to come up in sync, right? So monthly is bullish. Let's look at weekly, right? Weekly, the momentum is slowly lacking, right? So this is not looking good at all for now, because we could possibly get a dip in here, right? So that's on the weekly, and then on the daily, this is no different to what we see on Nifty, right? So this is where we are at, right? And price on daily also is bullish, right? So daily and monthly it is bullish. Uh, on quarterly it is not, right? So time to be cautious from a summary standpoint. Now let's look at the Elliott wave counting in here, and we'll start with the real high time frame and then slowly drill down. So this can definitely be a wave 3 that is ongoing, right? So this is a very strong impulsive. So if I get down into 6 months, look at that wave 1. This is, extremely sharp, right? So this can be wave 1, this can be wave 2, and here I clearly see a leading diagonal, right? So the question here is this wave 1 of 3? So this is at a higher degree. I'm going to move it into a larger time frame. This is at a lower degree, right? Pay attention how we will combine price to Elliott wave, right? So this we had it as a clear leading diagonal, and this is clearly an impulsive wave with wave 5 being truncated, right? So this is at a much lower degree. Let me use the circle one, right? This is at a much lower degree. So this is wave 1 at a larger degree, wave 2 at a lower degree, and then this is an ABC clearly with a truncated C, right? And then we have done 1 of 3 in here, and then here we could possibly be doing wave 1 of 3 of 3, right? 1 2 is over, now wave 3 should start. So this could be wave 1 of wave 3, right? So pay attention. So here what I'm looking at is wave 2 is over, and then here is another wave. Wave 2 could be over here or it could be over here, right? In both the scenarios we are concluding to what we concluded on the price, right? Above 44,850, Nifty IT is going to unfold wave 3. So will I invest in IT as of now? The answer is no. When will I invest in IT? When it breaks 44,850, because that will be the best time when we could have a similar or even a better pattern like we have here, right? Because this was wave 1. Wave 3 is going to be much stronger than this, right? So for me 48 44 850 is going to be very important, right? So that is all I had, for Nifty IT. Unless and until that is taken out, right, I can also, make this to this high here, which is more precise, 46,085. And I think, this is going to take a long time, because what could possibly happen at a smaller time frame if we get into it, right? This is wave 1 and this is wave 2. We still are on weekly, right? So this can be in a smaller wave 1, which is in sync with the Nifty, and then wave 2. So for all it could drag, for this 2025 26 sideways, to a dip in here, and then 2026 or 27 could be the best time for re-entry into IT, right? And also looking at the fundamentals and what AI is doing. um, I'm not too keen, in looking at it, right? So once again, everything and anything is purely for what we've shared is purely for educational purposes only. Do not take this as an investment advice. I should have shared the disclaimer right in the beginning, but I'm going to do this. Um, right? Pause it, give it a read, which says the information is purely for informational and educational purposes only, and it does not by any means make any investment advice or financial advice, right? Guys, that is all I had. Have a great rest of the day. Cheers. Bye now.